Hello Defunct Gamers, my name is Cyril, and today I want to finally rip the curtain off of some of the shows and series that we've been working on over the last few months, including an exclusive look at what you should expect in April and May. Let me tell you, this has been a long time in the coming, so we actually have some really cool stuff to announce today, especially when it comes to the future of fan favorite shows, a new countdown series, and a whole lot more. So let's go ahead and dive right into talking about a new series that'll debut later this month. If you were with us back in 2001, then you might remember us counting down SuperPlay's top 600 Super NES games. This was one of those fun, long-form series that was spread across 12 episodes, complete with special guests and a whole bunch of snark. Ever since then, I've been wanting to do another one of those massive countdowns. You know, something with hundreds of games to talk about. Believe it or not, it was while archiving the magazine Sega Power that I came to the realization that they reviewed a whole lot of Sega Master System games. Between S, the Sega magazine, and then when they rebranded it as Sega Power, the magazine managed to review more than 210 games for Sega's 8-bitter. Compare that to a magazine like Electronic Gaming Monthly, which only managed to review 20 Master System games. Yeah, that's right, 20! Obviously, 200 is a lot more than 20. In fact, I would argue that it's about as thorough as a magazine can possibly get, what with it really only missing a handful of lesser-known titles and some of the exclusives that were only released in Brazil. At some point this month, we're going to be kicking off what'll be a multi-week journey through more than 200 of these Master System classics. I'm actually currently in the mix of writing and piecing together the series, so I'm not sure if it's going to be 6 episodes or maybe it's going to be 8. All I know is that it's going to be the greatest Master System countdown on YouTube, and you can expect to see it pop up towards the end of April. Speaking of series that I'm currently working on, the next announcement is a really big one. As some of you know, I love game shows. I especially love trivia game shows. We've posted a bunch of different trivia competitions over the years, including ones where I've been the one answering the questions and ones where I've brought on a bunch of people to compete against each other. Well, good news everybody, we're doing it again, and this time we actually have a sponsor. Look, I can't get into too many details right yet, but Retrobit Publishing was kind enough to send me more than a dozen copies of their newest games and box sets. I'm talking about Mega Man, Glaylancer, Gyara's, the Valis Trilogy, Battletoads and Double Dragon, Hammer and Harry, and more. I'm serious, we have more than $1,000 in games to give away, many of which are nearly impossible to track down these days. At some point in the very near future, we're going to be looking for real people to be real contestants for a massive series of trivia shows where you can win real Retrobit games. This is going to be one of the major projects I'm going to be working on throughout the second half of the year. So expect this to become a multi-month series where people are winning prizes almost every week. Best of all, you can be one of those people. We're going to start looking for contestants in May, so be on the lookout for that. I'll explain everything you need to know then. I really do appreciate Retrobit for helping us out with this massive series, and I can't wait to talk more about it next month. For fans of the Review Crew series, you already know that we hit a milestone recently when we finally covered every single Nintendo Switch Online game in the US. I'm talking every available game for the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super NES, the Nintendo 64, the Genesis, the Game Boy, and even the Game Boy Advance. With that out of the way, we have since moved over to covering all the PlayStation games that I missed that have recently hit the PS Plus service, which we should really be able to complete within the next week or two. It's not that many games. So, with all those done, what's next for the Review Crew? Going forward, I still want to be able to publish weekly Review Crew episodes. And that is where you come in. There were a whole lot of games that just never got the review crew treatment due to the fact that they were on lesser played systems, were connected to licenses, or just are currently owned by companies that don't support the online services. In the weeks when there are no Nintendo Switch Online or PS Plus games to cover, I want to give you, the viewer, the choice of what we talk about. So here's what I'm thinking. In the coming weeks, we're going to be collecting game suggestions from our Discord server. On top of that, we're finally going to be opening our Patreon stuff later this year, and we're also going to be taking suggestions from there. The idea is to create a viewer-powered review crew series for all those off weeks. Best of all, we're going to shout out who suggested each game, as well as list them on the archive on the Defunct Games website. It's going to be a great way to not only help Defunct Games, but also see the games that you want to see covered in this series. We'll have more information on that in the coming weeks. Alright, well these are the big announcements that I wanted to focus on today. I do want to mention a couple of other things that I'm currently working on. One of those involves a new episode of the Game Over series, which is a show where we recap the game's story and then reveal the ending. Believe it or not, we actually posted almost 200 episodes in the series between 2017 and 2022, but it largely got replaced by more popular shows. While it's not exactly coming back weekly, I do have a few ideas of how we can weave it into our coverage. Expect the first batch of episodes to debut this month. I also have a few more magazine-related shows coming up, including a closer look at some of the special features found in Sega Power. There's an especially interesting one that goes into girls and gaming that has aged, it's aged like milk. Plus, expect a lot more reviews as we get into the spring and summer months. We really have a packed schedule in store, so prepare yourself accordingly. And that is all I can say for right now. But expect to see the first of the new shows in the coming weeks when we start counting down Sega Power's top 200 Master System games. I've been working really hard on it, and I know that you're going to love it. However, for now, I'm going to get back to writing tomorrow's PlayStation Plus review crew episode. Until then,